Alright, for this video we're going to talk about the metric system and dimensional analysis. And dimensional analysis is just a method of converting one number to another. Okay, so metric system, and you've all had the metric system before, but we're going to review it. Okay, so the metric system, we're going to start with our base. We have three bases, grams, liters, and meters. Okay, now anything above the base, like deca, is going to be larger than the base. And the metric system is in units, base 10. So there's a 10 unit difference between the base and the one that's next to it. So this is going to be 10 times the base because it's larger than the base. Okay? From the base to hecto is going to be 100 times larger. And up to here, kilo is going to be 1,000 times larger. But between hecto and deca here, between these two, they're next to each other, so there's only a 10 times difference between these. A hecto has 10, there's 10 decas in a hecto. Hecto is 10 times larger. Okay, now the same thing going below. Anything below the base is smaller. So a deci is going to be 10 times smaller than the base. So it's going to take 10 decis to make a base. Okay, and down to this one, centi is, you guessed it, 100 times smaller than the base. And a milli is 1,000 times smaller than the base. Oops, forgot my one. Okay, so this is really not the hard part, remembering that there's 10 difference, a base 10 difference. The hard part really is remembering kilo, hecto, deca, then the base, then deci, centa, and milli. But we have an acronym that's going to help us with that, and that's kangaroos help dingoes because dingoes can't multiply. Now, if you'll remember this funny saying, this mnemonic device is going to help you remember the order that these go in. So K, H, D, B, D, C, M correspond to K, H, D, B, D, C, and M. So if you can remember this saying, it will help you remember the order that these go in. Okay, so let's work some problems. First problem, 5,000 milliliters. We want to take that 2 liters. So this is where dimensional analysis comes in. Dimensional analysis is a way to convert this. It's a mathematical method used to convert. And what I do is I start off with a line. Okay, and I take what is given in your problem, and that's the first thing you write down. So 5,000 milliliters. Okay, some people call this picket fence method. Okay, so I'm going to draw my first little picket fence here. First little picket for my fence. Okay, and I like to put this over 1. Okay, it doesn't change the value because it's over 1. Now we're going to convert this to liters. So we want to get rid of this unit, milliliters. Now, mathematically, if we want to get rid of the milliliters, we need to put it below the line so that it cancels out. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to write milliliters there, below the line, and put our next picket. Now, liters is what we're converting to. And is there a relationship between liters and milliliters? Yes, there is. We know that there's 1,000 milliliters in 1 liter. It's an equivalent. It takes 1,000 milliliters to make 1 liter. Now, this isn't going to change this value of 5,000 because essentially what we're doing is multiplying 5,000 by 1, because a liter is the same thing as 1,000 milliliters. It's like saying 4 is the same thing as 4. Okay? And if we multiply 5,000 by that, well, 4 over 4 is the same thing as 1. So if we multiply 5,000 by 1, we're just going to get 5,000. So we're not changing the value of the number. But what does happen is this unit cancels with this unit, because milliliters is on top of the line here and it's on the bottom of the line here. And it doesn't have to be right next to each other. Okay, you can have milliliters here on top of the line, and then way over here somewhere you can have it on the bottom of the line. And as long as this is on top, can cancel one of these that's on top can cancel with one of these that's on bottom. It doesn't have to be directly beside it. Okay? All right. And I'm going to show you an example of that in just a minute. All right, so milliliters, the unit did cancel, and it leaves us with liters, which is what we want our answer in. So we can go ahead now and just do the math. Well, anything that's on top of this line, we're going to multiply it by whatever the other number is. So 5,000 times 1 is 5,000. 1 times 1,000 is 1,000. Okay, and liters is our unit on top. We crossed out all the units on bottom, so we don't have a unit here. Okay, so mathematically, anything on top can cancel anything on bottom. So these 3 zeros cancel with these 3 zeros. So we're left with the problem 5 divided by 1. We all know that 5 divided by 1 is 5. So we write our units. This is your answer. So 5,000 milliliters is the same thing as 5 liters. Okay, let's look at another problem. We're going to convert 500,000 liters to kiloliters. So the first thing we do is we draw our line out. Okay, we record what's given, 500,000 liters. We put in our picket. We're going to put that over 1. Okay, now we're converting this to kiloliters, so we want to get rid of this liters. Now, what did I say a moment ago? If you have a unit that's on top and you know you want to cancel it, where are we going to put that unit? Below the line. Okay, good. So we're going to put it there. That way, mathematically, we know it cancels out. Well, what are we converting to? Kiloliters. So let's put kiloliters on top. Okay, I'm going to put my picket. Now, do we know a relationship between liters and kiloliters? We do. If you look back at the metric system, we know that a kiloliter is larger than a liter. So 1 kiloliter is 1,000 liters. Okay, 1,000 liters is the same thing as a kiloliter. So our units, liters, is going to cancel. We're left with kiloliters, which is what we want. Okay, so we can do the math now. 500,000 times 1 is 500,000. 1 times 1,000 is 1,000. Okay, mathematically we have 3 zeros on bottom, so we can cancel 3 zeros on top. So we're left now with 500 divided by 1. We know 500 divided by 1 is 500. Bring down our units, kiloliters. So That's our answer. We converted 500,000 liters into kiloliters. Okay. Next problem. Here's where we convert from U.S. customary to metric. Okay. U.S. customary is feet, and metric is millimeters. Okay. Now this is going to take a few pickets to get there. So let's draw our line. Here is our conversion factor that's given to us so we can do this conversion. Okay, so we take what's given, 0.95 feet, draw our picket and put that over 1. Okay, now we know we want to get rid of feet, and we know we want to go to millimeters. Okay, so we're going to put feet in the bottom because we know we want to get rid of it. Okay, let's draw our line now. Now, our conversion factor is in inches. So we're going to have to convert feet to inches to use this conversion factor. So let's go ahead and put inches on top. Now, do we know some kind of conversion factor that how many inches are in a foot? We should. 12 inches is 1 foot. Okay, so now we can cancel our unit of feet. But now we're left with inches, and we want to be in millimeters. So we know we're going to have to cancel out inches. Okay, so let's put that there. Let's draw our picket. And look, we have our conversion factor now that's in inches and centimeters. So we can say 1 inch is 2.54 centimeters. Okay, now we can cancel our inches. What's on top is going to cancel what's on bottom. So what we have left now is centimeters, but we don't want centimeters, we want millimeters. So we're going to put centimeters down here because we know we want to cancel it. And we know millimeters is what we want, so let's go ahead and put that on top and draw our picket. Now what's the relationship between centimeters and millimeters? Well, again, if you look back at your chart that we had at the beginning, you'll see that there's only 1 step difference between a centimeter and a millimeter. So there's only a base 10 difference between these. And which one is smaller? Well, milli is under centi, so milli is smaller. Okay, so it takes 10 millimeters to make 1 centimeter. Okay, so centimeters cancels, and now we're left with millimeters, which is what we want our answer in. Okay, so I can go ahead and put the equal sign. We're going to multiply this, that times that, times that, times that. Okay, and then the bottom is just all ones, so that's easy. Okay, no unit on the bottom, but we have millimeters on top. So now all we have to do is the math. So 289.56. Okay, 289.56. All right, significant digits. Let's look at significant digits. Okay, here's our problem. All of this information was given to us. So how many significant digits do we have here? Well, let's review. This is not significant because it's at the beginning of a number. No zeros at the beginning of a number are significant. So we have 2 significant digits here. Okay, 1 inch is equal to 2.54 centimeters. Okay, so we have 3 significant digits here. We're not going to really count this one because it's the conversion. Okay, so it's this or this as far as our accuracy is concerned. Okay, 0.95 is 2, this is 3, so we have to go with the least number of significant digits. It's going to be that. Okay, so 2 significant digits, 1, 2. So this number tells us if we're going to round or not. Okay, so 289, 9 tells us we round this 8 to a 9. So our most accurate answer that we can get from this problem is going to be 290 millimeters. That's as accurate as we can get. Now, the reason we had to look at significant digits is because it didn't say anything in our problem to round to 2 decimal places or round to the 100th place. So that's why we had to look at our significant digits. And let's just say that we are going to round this to the 100th place. To the 100th place. Okay, so that's 2 decimal places past the number, because that has a lot of numbers in it. Okay, so what do we do? First step, everything is in steps. If you remember the steps, everything is easy. Write down what's given to us, 3 pounds. Draw our picket. We want to get rid of pounds, so we're going to put it in the bottom. Okay, we have a conversion factor right here that converts from pounds to grams. We want our answer in grams, so it's going to be a one-step process. So 1 pound is 453.59237 grams. Okay, pounds cancels pounds. You're left with grams, which is what we want, so we're going to do our math. 1 times 1 on the bottom is 1. So 3 times, get my calculator out again, 3 times 453.59237 equals 1360.77711. Okay, grams, because grams is what's left. Okay, so we're rounding to the nearest 100th place, so that's 10th place, 100th place. So we're going to look at this number to see if we round. 7 is above 5, so it's going to round this one to an 8. So our answer is going to be 1360.78 grams. And that is dimensional analysis. It's very easy. It takes a little practice, but once you get it down, it's very, very easy.